Hello and welcome back to another 7 Days to Die mining tutorial. I have done one previously, but that was on the early experimental version of Alpha 17, and they have updated quite a few things, such as right in front of you, the textures. The textures look correct. They actually took care of this pretty quickly. So what we're going to cover today is what I covered before, the underground resource mining and biome-specific mining. You got nitrate right here, you got coal, lead, and shale. All are specific to biomes. Easiest way to explain this is in the journal. Pick up a mining tool, a pickaxe, anything like this. It's going to pop up this journal entry. You take a look at it, and it's going to list here that all biomes have iron ore or lower chance for all other ores. That lower chance can apply to way down below or up above the surface pockets. When I say surface pockets, I'm referring to the bottom of this journal entry that claims that you can find veins close to the surface by digging down a gravel spot. It'll give you a piece of the ore found below. You can dig down and follow it. I don't like to do that. I tried doing that a long time ago, and I just ended up with terrain littered with one-spot holes from trying to find a specific resource. Now what we're going to be doing today is biome mining. I'm going to get right into it. The first one I'm going to cover today is shale, which you can find in the desert. This practice is based off of my personal method I found from lots of studying of how these generate and the more common places to find them underground, which is elevation 14. Elevation 14 and below is usually where we're going to find the biggest chunks of these resources. You can find tiny little pockets above. When you dig to that elevation 14, you can find some staring up at your head, but you're not going to find much of it farther above. If you do, it's pretty random. Now, again, first one we're going to start with shale in the desert. We're going to go down to the hole I created. People have asked me previously about how I find these resources as if I knew, but I really don't. I'm taking a guess, I'm taking a chance. You can find resources this method really quick, or it can take you a bit of time, but when you do, you usually find pockets that are pretty reliable. Desert chooses the easiest for shale. I did manage to find a decent pocket right here, but it wasn't very large. I blew the hell out of it to see if I could find any more below in the walls. Didn't have much luck, so I moved on. Now after digging for quite a ways, again this can take a bit of your time, but usually when you find a vein you're pretty much set for quite a long time. Managed to find quite a bit of shale down here, pretty expansive pocket, and again, elevation 14 is what I dig to. You don't find too much above, you can find some, like these little pieces right here, but it's not reliable enough to go any higher than that, plus you worry the risk of collapse if you do decide to do bedrock mining. Digging all the way down, digging along, and digging up. I don't like to do it. I feel like I'm going to drop the cavern on myself, especially when you're in the desert. Next one we're going to cover is going to be coal, which applies the exact same way. Digging to elevation 14, picking a direction, and just go. Sometimes you'll find it pretty quick, sometimes you won't. But when you do find veins, they can be pretty large, they can be expansive, they can snake around quite a bit. What I managed to find right here doesn't look like too big of a pocket. I cleared this all out just to see if it was any wider than I thought it was at the top. But again, we're digging for the top. We're just trying to find where it begins, and then you could dig down. This could be enormous, and odds are good, it probably is. But this is just the same process. Digging to elevation 14, picking a direction. I got actually pretty lucky in this situation. I dug straight down, went in a direction, found a gravel piece, followed it, and lo and behold, I managed to find the resource I was looking for in just a couple of minutes. Next one we're going to cover is going to be lead in the regular forest. That was unintended. Cannot repeat myself enough. Same process, go near the center or away from the edge of a biome. Just dig straight down till you reach elevation 14. And here we go. Elevation 14, all I did was dig in a straight line, and the best way to find these is to either follow gravel, iron, any resource that you find down here, dig it up, it's going to lead you to a bigger pocket. I used to neglect on that when I found a piece of gravel, ignored it, wasn't important to me, but it will lead you to a bigger vein, there's no question. You're not going to find random pockets of gravel in the middle of nowhere, in a cave wall, it's not going to lead you nowhere. You're going to find something, so follow it. Now, I'd like to show you just how much lead there really is here, but it blends in quite well with the rock. So I blasted quite a big hole just to show you how deep this can go, and these can snake even further than you would expect. I don't know how large this is. This pocket could be like if you took a cookie cutter, dug straight down with the edges of that might be all you find, or it could snake out all the way to the side. You don't know, but these usually have you set pretty well. Now, next one we're going to cover, skip ahead. Looking for nitrate. Now, while I'm on the topic and getting to this, I found that in this update, mining up resources, not necessarily rock, but any iron, shale, whatever resource, as long as it's a ore, gives you a lot of experience. So, if you're taking the time to be down here, you might as well gain as much experience as you can while you're doing it. Now, with this vein, I actually managed to get really lucky. This is a massive vein for nitrate. You can see there is quite a bit. This would last a while. Now, I can't reiterate enough. It takes time. You may not get lucky when you dig down right away. You may not start digging to the side at elevation 14 and find something immediately. It could take some time. But you could get really lucky in the sense of find a massive vein like this and be set for a very, very long time. So it's roulette, but you'll eventually find what it is that you're looking for. You're just going to have to get lucky. It'll take time, but I can't reiterate that enough. Now, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Try to keep it quicker than the last one without going into too much in detail because some stats of how tools dig directly in the environment has changed. It's inconsistent, so there's no point for me to gather data and information and graph it out because it's inconsistent. A lot of the perks are broken, so until they fix those, I'm not going to cover that specific portion. Now, let me know if you got any questions, other things anything else you want to know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer it. I know there may have been some things here that I may have missed, so feel free to ask me, or even better, I do play quite frequently on a server, 7 Days to Die. I work a 9 to 5 job, usually almost every day after work. I'm on for quite a few hours at a time, so you can hop on, join me and my friend in our server. It's open to everyone. I can show you myself how I do things. I can show you other things that I've learned about this game because I've spent quite a lot of time testing things. I love to go into single player. I love to mess around with the debug mode and figure out anything I can. Testing perks, what can stack together, what perks can, what perks can't, what armor can stack, if the light armor perks actually affect heavy armor. I've tested a lot of things, so I can show quite a bit about this game. I'll go ahead, I'll leave the server name in the description. You will see my tag in the game listed as VioletFirefox. It's my favorite color, my favorite browser. Nice and simple. I didn't really care, and it worked. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Got any questions? Maybe I'll see you in the server. Either way, I hope you have a great day.